Sometimes the best answer isn't a scream, a fight, or a long emotional message. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence, but not just any silence. It's the kind that carries dignity, composure, and growth. When someone hurts you, what they expect the most is to see pain written all over your face. They want to see you shaken, reacting, begging, justifying yourself. But what if you do the exact opposite? What if, instead of fighting back, you simply move on, as if that person never existed? That's not weakness. That's power. In this video, you'll learn how to flip the game without making a move. You'll discover the quietest, yet most devastating way to respond to someone who tried to break you. And you'll understand a secret that ancient philosophers already knew. Those who master themselves can never be controlled by anyone. Have you ever noticed how manipulators always seek emotional control? They don't just want to hurt you, they want to trap you in a reaction, a scream, an outburst, an explanation, anything that proves you're still emotionally tied to them. But that's their greatest weakness, because when you break the cycle and refuse to respond, what remains is emptiness, a silence that echoes, an absence that burns louder than 1,000 words. While they prepared for war, you arrive with maturity. While they plotted revenge, you bring peace. And it's in this contrast that you reveal something rare: self-control. Ignoring someone isn't coldness, it's emotional wisdom. It's not pretending nothing happened, it's understanding that not every attack deserves a response. Not every disrespect needs a stage. When you stop playing the game, you take the control out of their hands, and that hurts more than any confrontation, because the manipulator wants a show. They want to be remembered. They want to make their mark, even if it's through pain. But when you stay silent, you erase that possibility. You deny them the spotlight, and that is devastating. Most people react by defending themselves, explaining or seeking justice. But you don't need any of that to win. Real victory isn't proving anything to anyone. It's staying whole, calm, and unshaken. When you realize you no longer need the approval of those who hurt you, you set yourself free. And that freedom, it's the most elegant punishment there is. It proves they've lost all power. They wanted to be relevant, but they became irrelevant. And that hurts. It hurts because it shows that all their effort to break you was useless. Now imagine this. Someone betrays you, lies to you, or tries to destroy your reputation. You could cause a scandal, expose them, go after revenge. But instead, you disappear. You grow in silence. You build a life where that person no longer exists in your story. That's the kind of victory that doesn't need to be told. It's seen. And every step forward you take is a silent reminder of their failure. Because nothing stings more to someone who wanted to see you broken than seeing you soar without ever looking back. In Stoic philosophy, there's a clear principle. You don't control what others do to you, but you always control how you respond. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you can, don't respond." And Epictetus added, "You always have a choice over your attitude." That's not passivity, it's inner mastery. Because the one who controls their mind, their impulses, their emotions, can't be manipulated. And in the end, what the manipulator fears the most is your emotional freedom. Because while they live off control, you live with purpose. And there's something else few people understand. True disregard isn't just the absence of a response. It's the absence of importance. It's when that person's name fades from your mouth, your mind, your routine. And that doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you value yourself so much that there's no more space for who hurt you. And that's a brutal blow to the ego of those who tried to destroy you. Because their ego wanted a stage, but the stage was dismantled. The game ended. And you didn't even announce it. You just walked away in silence with class. And speaking of class, do you know what shocks them the most? Your growth, your progress, your happiness. While they expected to see you shattered, you show up better than ever. Not because you want to show off, but because you simply refuse to sink. Every achievement becomes a painful reminder that they lost. Not just you, they lost their chance to control you. The person you were before may have cried, begged, argued, but the person you are now just smiles and moves on. And let's be clear, this isn't about pride or arrogance. It's about self-love. It's about realizing that your energy is sacred and shouldn't be wasted on people who don't know how to honor it. Those who tried to tear you down were betting on your weakness, but they found strength instead. A silent, invisible, unbreakable strength. And that is true victory. Because the winner isn't the one who shouts the loudest. It's the one who no longer needs to shout, the one who lives in peace while others rot from within. At the end of the day, there's no greater punishment than indifference. Time goes on, days pass, and that person starts to realize you're really not coming back. You didn't text, you didn't make a scene, you didn't expose anything, you just disappeared. And your absence becomes doubt. Doubt turns into discomfort. Discomfort turns into guilt, and guilt turns into regret. A regret no one sees, but it burns from the inside, all because you chose silence over war. If you've made it this far, you've probably been emotionally hurt. Maybe you're still hurting. Maybe you're still wondering if you should respond, seek revenge, or explain yourself. But before you do anything, breathe, reflect, and remember the greatest response you can give: your peace, your well-lived life, your constant growth. That's what shatters every narrative, because there's no better revenge than true happiness, and nothing humiliates more than watching someone move on without you. Now I want to ask you something. If this message spoke to you, leave the word freedom in the comments. Just one word, but it says everything. And if you want to keep learning how to grow, even through pain, subscribe to this channel. We go way beyond pretty phrases. Here you'll learn how to armor your mind and build the best version of yourself. Silence with elegance and strength.